Continuing with Coach Eric Chuter at Salmen, now breaking down the defense. Coach, let's just start up front, defensive line.
You know, we've always, at Salmen, we always start off as a 3-4 team, whether we play a four-man front based on our personnel or a three-man front with four linebackers. So we're always looking for that nose guard. And we believe this year, Tyron Casnave, Tyron's 6'2", he's 245. He's a senior. He's a guy who's been with us for a few years. We believe he's going to be that guy at nose. What we're looking for is we're looking for some younger guys to emerge on the edge to be our tackles, and maybe give us some help, could maybe give us some help at nose, and we can move Tyron at that spot. Because as starters right now, Peyton Gable and Darian Bowman are both starters right now, and obviously I mentioned them on the offensive side of the ball. So we have some young kids. We got a kid, Kyron Doyle, who's a sophomore. Kyron is 6'1", 290. We have Kyron Ward, who's going to be a junior. Kyron's 6'2". He's a wiry kid, probably about 205 right now. So we need those kids like that. And we have a few more that possibly could emerge that could take the pressure off of Gable and Bowman, and maybe they could split a spot. But unfortunately, we just don't have enough experienced linemen right now, so to relieve them. Defense on linebacker wise, starting on the inside, we got a returner. It's going to be a sophomore. It's called Carl Simmons. Carl is 5'11", 205. He's coming back as a sophomore. He took a lot of lumps last year, a lot of learning at linebacker. We're looking for some good things from him. Also at linebacker, we got penciled in as Tyrone Statham. This will be Tyrone's first year starting. Tyrone's 5'8", 200 pounds, 190. Probably he's close to 190. He'll be a senior. Then on the edge, our edge linebackers are Carl Jones, who we're very excited about. Carl is 5'11", 185. He's also going to get time at tailback, but he's definitely an outside linebacker for us. And then we have a returning starter in Edwin Pierce. Edwin's 6'2", 180. And Edwin's also may get some time at corner, maybe some time at safety also. But Edwin was a first-year football player last year, who this summer keeps getting better every day. And he's also a kid who went to the state track meet in the 300-meter hurdle, so he's a very good athlete. Then in the secondary, returning starter at cornerback, Marcel White. Marcel is 5'7", 140. He's going to be a senior. Marcel right now, I hope he continues to improve, just like Mason James does on offense. They're both smaller guys in stature, but they're getting the job done right now. They're playing within the scheme we're asking them to play, and they really have bought in. They're working hard, and I hope. And Marcel has improved immensely, and I hope he continues to improve as the summer goes along. John Lowry, who I mentioned at quarterback, I mentioned that possible tailback, I mentioned also a possible receiver. He's a
ticket seller.
He's all over, right? Yeah. Popcorn at halftime. He's going to be our starting cornerback. We got him penciled in. John's 5'8", 175. He's thicker. And John's a legacy too here. His two older brothers played football here, so he's a Salmen guy through and through. He's going to do whatever we need him to do. On the top edge, we got a returning starter, a guy we were very excited about last year as a freshman. He's a sophomore, Jaheim Clivens. Jaheim's 5'7", 150. Jaheim is a phenomenal athlete. He's a very, very smart football player. Not just smart in the classroom. He's a smart football player and a great kid. And he's doing a phenomenal job for us back there. And he needs to keep improving also. He plays above his 5'7". He comes down and he'll strike you. He really strikes you in run fits. And then the other guy that's going to be a surprise for everybody is who we're throwing in the secondary is Michael Marco. Marco's going to have to get some time in that spot also as a starter. So that opens up the door in the secondary for people like Javari Johnson, who's a legacy kid whose brother played here, who he's could possibly be in a secondary and also get some time at wide receiver. Caleb Jones, whose brother played here, who's another legacy, who could get some time at receiver, could get some time in the secondary. And we have a bunch of young sophomores, Jack Robinson, who may get some time there. Bryant Bray, a new kid that came out who was a swimmer. This kid's phenomenal. He keeps getting better every day. He's got a mean streak with him. He'll strike you, and he just makes plays. I'm excited about him too. So, we got 4 returning starters on offense, 4 returning starters on defense. you know. And we have guys like Christian Doucette that was a part-time starter for us last year who needs to work his way into the starting lineup, whether it's at linebacker or whether it's on as a 5 tech on the defensive line. So we just, we don't have a ton of seniors in spots, or we don't have a ton of people with a ton of playing experience. But I see kids really, and I'm telling you, this is a great group to be around, where they come to work every day. They're working hard. They're having fun while they're working hard too, and they got each other's back. I can't ask for anything more as a head coach.
I'm interested to know your approach here. How much do you use? You maybe don't. How much do you use the 2018 season as, if you need any motivation to lift harder or run faster, look at just what it was last year, or is last year just a complete wash your hands?
It's a complete wash. I've used it one time and one time only. We had a 7-on-7 a few weeks ago that things didn't go so good, and I saw some kids standing around looking around like with the here we go again look on their face.
The Saban Brook Trout look.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was the only time I mentioned that season is over. That season's done, and we haven't really talked about it at all. And I think it's going to be a true dichotomy of two different Salmens. Now, you can't guarantee wins and losses. You don't know how the schedule is going to play out. All I can guarantee is that this group of kids, they work hard, they show up every day, and I'm telling you, in my 27th year of coaching, this is one of the most fun, if not the most fun, groups of kids to be around. They really are a pleasure to coach because they take their work serious, they take their coaching serious, and the other small things we're asking them to do, to tighten up some of the rules in the program, tighten out some of the discipline in the program that we need to carry over to the field. Those things are happening. So it's going to pay off in the long run. We take care of all the small things, the big thing will take care of itself. And that's what we're trying to do right now.
My last question. I've asked this to every coach who's done this interview so far. I'm not going to ask about wins and losses.
All right.
I just want to know, when the tape recorder's off and I leave, what's your gut tell you about Salmen football in 2019? What's your gut tell you? Is it, just what kind of thoughts come to your head? If you're sitting at home with your wife and she asks, hey, what's the team going to be like? Just what's your gut tell you?
Well, my gut tells me, besides I'm hungry right now, my gut tells me that this group is going to keep fighting. And this group is going to be part of the solution to some of the problems that we may have had in the past, or I may have had in the past. And I think this is going to be a season that we can build upon, because we're doing things right. They're doing everything I need them to do, and they have really taken ownership of the team and of the program. And I've been around groups like that happened before, and I'll give you an example in Salmen. That happened in 2006 at Salmen. It carried over to 2007. And all of a sudden in 2008 and 2009, we were in the semifinals. So I've seen this before, and I've been a part of it. So my gut tells me we're headed in the right direction, and that these kids can be the foundation of what we're trying to be and what we're trying to build.